Hello, friends. Welcome back to another week of Nuggets. Our story today picks up from after the crossing of the Red Sea and the massive celebration afterwards. Then, Exodus 15:22 says, Moses led Israel from the Red Sea, and they went into the desert of Shur. For 3 days they traveled in the desert without finding water. 3 days of travel with no new source of water. It doesn't mean that they didn't drink water for the 3 days, but that their supply probably was running extremely low. In fact, it is likely that they had a little bit of water for themselves, but nothing for their livestock. Now, a donkey, which is what most people use for transport and carrying things at that time, can go without drinking water for up to 4 days. And that's pushing it. But think about the livestock too, especially if they are nursing their calves. Although they can also survive a few days without water, they would get severely dehydrated, and imagine not getting hundreds, if not thousands of livestock to water in time. So this was a serious problem. The Israelites were not just being difficult with Moses when they started complaining there was no water. It was a life or death situation. And then they got to Marah. Many years ago, I was visiting my hometown in Argentina. It was summer and it was unbearably hot. As teenagers, we would get together with friends during siesta time when all the adults would take a nap, and we would hang outside in the blazing hot sun. At one point, one of my friends said, "Do you guys want to come inside and get a drink?" "Sure," we said, and very quietly went into the kitchen, making sure not to wake up the adults. She offered us a drink called terma, which I had no idea what it was, but accepted it anyway. It was a dark beverage, so I thought, it must be something similar to Pepsi or maybe even very dark grape juice. In my desperation for something that would quench my thirst, I took a big gulp, and to my utmost disgust, almost spit it out of my mouth. It was extremely bitter. You see, terma was a drink made from bitter herbs, and people around there drank it to help quench their thirst. I couldn't think of a more horrible way to quench one's thirst. I suddenly didn't feel thirsty anymore and unable to finish the drink. That's what I think of when I read about Marah. How bitter. Obviously, there's a huge difference between the Israelites and my story. There's an expectation, and it doesn't get met. In fact, records show that there were several bitter springs in the vicinity, and the Elim oasis was still a few miles away. So the people complained, and Moses turned to God, who gave him a temporary solution. And it worked. And God used that experience as a teaching moment for the Israelites, as well as an opportunity to promise them care and protection once again. Oh, the patience of God with his wayward children. Praise him for having so much patience with you and I as well. And with that, we come to the end of our nugget. I'll see you tomorrow.